All right, shalom, 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 shalom. Once again, you're now under the voice of your good brother Kahan Tazadak, and this is your housework. And you already know why I'm here. I'm here to welcome you to another up-and-coming webinar. Up-and-coming webinar actually going to take place this week, and there will be no replays, okay? Let me say this. This is not legal advice. I do not offer legal advice. If you need legal advice, seek yourself a competent counsel, and then please be advised. Everything I'm giving you is strictly for educational, information, or entertainment purposes only. This is not legal advice. So, Shalom, Mashumha, Mashumeh. You are invited to another webinar. This webinar is actually going to take place on Zoom. If you wish to attend this webinar, you're going to actually have to have Zoom. If you don't have Zoom, you will actually have the opportunity to donate it. So I can to download Zoom when you pay for the webinar. This webinar is going to be this weekend, May the 1st and May the 2nd, from 12 noon to 6 p.m. If you do not listen to the video, if there's a discrepancy in the typing, you're not going to get a replay. Listen to the damn video. Don't just click on something. Listen to the video, and then you'll get the true instructions. So this is actually going to take place once again, May the 1st and May the 2nd, from 12 noon till 6 p.m. both days, Eastern Standard Time. Eastern Standard Time. Now you could go ahead and register in advance by clicking on the registration link below this video, or if you're actually in the chat room here on StreamYard, you could actually go ahead and click on that. Now, Anthony 2X, or Anthony Squared, should I say, there's no other way to pay besides PayPal, but if you go to PayPal, you don't have to pay with PayPal. You could actually pay for or with a debit card. What's important is that if you have some sort of, confrontation or previous confrontation with PayPal, then I would suggest that you not use that email that's associated with that. Do you understand? So you definitely want to attend this webinar. Once again, this is actually pretty much redundant now, despite the type of debt that you actually may be facing, undergoing. I believe that there's still hope, and there's nothing more important than hope other than your belief. Shalom, I'm Rodney, Laurel. So I've been trying to get to this for the past 3 weeks, but the 1099 OID, it took up both days last week. And the week before that, the EFT took up both days. These are very thorough, long processes. You will not learn this on YouTube. You will not find anyone that teaches this on YouTube like the authorized agent of Kahan Tazadak. Now, accepted for values, what we're going to actually be going over, it's a 3-step process. Why a 3-step process? And I'm not talking about the stuff that you guys seen me do years ago. This is much more detailed. You do not have a DVD on the way that this accepted for value is actually executed by Kahan Tazadak's authorized agent. This is very detailed. He goes into detail how he does the accepted for value, what he sends with the accepted for value, and what he does if he does not get a response from the alleged creditor, and also if he gets a response from the alleged creditor and it's negative, he actually goes into what to do. Now, as you come in the room, kindly give a thumbs up. If you do not give a thumbs up, I will discontinue the video. When you come in the room, give a thumbs up. For right now, that's all you could give me. What's even better, if you could actually go ahead and put a donation in the room at cash.me/$Tazadak or paypal.me/Tazadak. So accepted for value is what we're actually going to be going over. Accepted for value, this is a really controversial topic, and it is often misunderstood. What's going on? I see Terrence, authorized agents here. This concept is often misunderstood. You guys, you be out there listening to a lot of different people, and you running from Yusef L. You run to I guess what's this other guy's name? Hellraiser, and he's raising a lot of hell over there. And you run to all of these new people, and you always come to my webinars and asking me, who do I know? Man, I don't know these little niggas, man. I don't know them. I don't know what they're doing, but whatever they're doing, man, they don't do it better than me. They can't do it better than me, son. I'm sunning everyone that done this, man. You know, you gotta admit, man, when you come and you learn this from me, I go into the history. I go into every detail, every breakdown, every scientific breakdown, and explain it to you thoroughly. There's nothing about me made up, man. So don't come to me telling me about what you learned, because when I question you, you can't answer the questions that I give you. You know why? Because they taught you, but they can't teach you as good as me. And you might think I'm cocky, but I'm just real, man. And this is why a lot of people, they can't rock with me, man, because they can't handle the truth. My man told you that, man. My man told you, Captain Cool told you that in A Few Good Men. You can't handle the truth. And Kahan tells the doc's agent, just give you truth. You understand what I'm talking about? 1 foot. I bring the truth. So accept it for value. To those of you that's actually tuning in for the first time, accept it for value is a commercial remedy. A remedy is a commercial right that is obtained through an instrument. This is including tax bills, violation of traffic citations, etc., etc. So accept it for value is a qualified endorsement. See, people that attend my webinars, they understand what an endorsement is. I've had people that come on there, they become creditors to other people or so-called creditors. They can't explain to me what an endorsement is. So accepted for value is a qualified endorsement where there's a modified signature on an instrument. Do you understand? Do you understand? A blank endorsement, let me teach you something, like, and I should be charging you for this. Well, a blank endorsement is simply your signature or total non-acceptance. Most of you don't know how to properly endorse a check. This is why you should be attending my webinars. These other guys are not teaching you how to properly. Now they're going to go and look it up. They come in and listen to me in the background. Then they go and look it up. Man, these people, that might be all right, but they ain't better than me. They're not better than Khan tells a dog, man. This is your house work, man. How could you be better than a man that is ordained to teach this by the Creator, man? You can't, man. Bar none, man. I do this for real, man. So a blank endorsement is simply your signature or non-acceptance. And a blank endorsement essentially waives remedies that are made available through the instrument by waiving defects in the instrument. Acceptance. So to properly comprehend what an accepted for value is, my good brother Terrence, they have to comprehend this language that we speak. What is acceptance? Acceptance is an agreement either by express act or implication from conduct. It could be on your actions, or it could be from your implication of conduct to the terms of an offer. That's something that someone's sending you. Whether it's a warrant, whether it's a subpoena, whether it's an alleged debt, to the terms of an offer so that a binding contract is formed. That's what essential right there. Acceptance forms a binding contract. If you don't take anything else away with that, Anthony Squared, take away that acceptance forms a binding contract. Because if you don't comprehend this language, how can you have remedy? It's imperative to comprehend this language. Acceptance forms a binding contract. If an acceptance modifies the terms or add new ones, it generally operates as a counter offer. A conditional acceptance is always a counter offer. Acceptance, the taking and receiving of anything in good part, and as it was a tacit agreement to a preceding act, which might have been defeated or avoided if such acceptance had not been made. The straight out of Black Law's Fourth. The straight out of Black Law's Fourth, man. So if an instrument is issued based on a pre-existing agreement, what does he mean? What do you mean? Khan tells a doc's authorized agent about a pre-existing agreement. I mean that if someone has actually been sending you bills, and if they're not sending you a true bill, ask for a true bill. Boker Tov. Yeah, Boker Tov. Alan, during the third, Boker Tov. Now, if someone is not sending you a true bill, you want to ask for a true bill. Ask for a true bill. So, if an instrument is issued based on a pre-existing agreement or contract, it does not have to be issued for value because the issuer's defense are in the contract. Contract. You understand what I'm talking about, Zebulon? So with the agreement of the transferee is actually the person who receives the instrument. For example, right? U.S. citizen receives a violation, um, a ticket, right? It is not performed to the satisfaction of the transferor. He could actually back up his claim with the contract. If there is no pre-existing contract, the instrument must be issued for value. Issue for value is the same thing, my good brother, as issue to get value. Issue for value, I'm going to say that again because it went over your head, Alan. Issue for value is the same thing as issue to get value. So therefore, the instrument has no value when it is issued. It is seeking value. You give it the value. You give it the value. Your signature gives it the value, Zebulon. How come people not getting this, man? The instrument has no value when it is issued. It is seeking value. It is seeking a person to accept his offer unconditionally. Do you understand? Do you understand this about your ticket 1 foot? It had no value. You give it value. You gave it validity. Get your minds right, kings. You give it the value. The instrument has no value when it is issued. I cannot overemphasize that. Watch this. And by the way, go ahead and click the link in the room and register for this webinar, man. I don't care. Don't come on my webinar and tell me who you learn from. They might be good. They might be all right. But they ain't better than me. I'm touching lives and souls all across the world, man. You know why? Because this is Yahweh's work, man. This is spiritual, man. The law is spiritual. And what I'm giving you right now is for real. So the instrument has no value. When they wrote you the ticket 1 foot, it didn't have any value. You debating about going in. Oh, that's not necessary. It has no value. You give it the value. The instrument has no value. It's seeking value. I need to beat that into your heads. It's seeking a person to accept the offer unconditionally, thereby wavering all of their remedies. Terrence, stop waving your remedy, King. They looking for the argument that you're giving them. Stop wavering the remedy. When you receive bills, right? Watch this. When you receive tax bills, tax season, right? When you receive tax bills, tickets, penal actional instruments, right? Penal action indictments. The presumed basis for issuing that instrument was the violation of the U.S. statute. Do you understand? Do you understand? Okay, we got damn near 30 people in the room. We got only 14 thumbs up. So I'll stop teaching right here, man, until people when they get their thumbs up, man, because you guys are not giving me anything for this. So and I'm giving you my time and my energy, and my time is very valuable. So I'm going to give you the opportunity to get those thumbs up, and I might be back in a couple shakes. Let's get those thumbs up. All right, that's a little better. I'm over here giving folks my times and energy. And people don't even take the common courtesy to get the thumbs up when they come into the room. My channel hasn't been monetized for almost 3 damn years. And you people still don't get thumbs up, but you come over here. You know why you come over here? You come over here because you want to learn something. You come over here because there's something deficient in your life. And I'm giving you that remedy because this is right knowledge for real, man. So the least that you could do is get your thumbs up. What you really should be doing is throwing me a donation at least every other time you come over here. So I'm gonna put the donation link in the room that you could donate at, man. Right there, or at this one. You could donate at that cash.me, or you could donate at the PayPal. Pick your choice, man. Pick your choice. Let's try and get back to this, man. So all of you out there, you keep giving you keep giving their instruments values. These instruments have no value when they issue these instruments to you. The instrument has no value when it is issued. It is seeking value. It is seeking a person to accept his offer unconditionally, thereby wavering all remedies made available. And so I gave the example when you receive a tax bill, a ticket, a penal action indictment. See, the presumed basis for issuing the instrument was the violation of a U.S. statute, not the law. Did you hear me, Terrence? The violation of a U.S. statute. So if you have no contract or no promise given to act under those particular statutes, there is no obligation to pay for educational purposes. What don't you comprehend about that? You can't just walk up to me and say, hey, Taza, you owe me $100, pay me. You got to show that there was some pre-existing contract between you and I. If you have no contract or promise given to act under those statutes, there is no obligation to pay. If a person gives this instrument a qualified endorsement, like you signed the damn thing, accepted for value, he is literally turning the instrument into a payment. Do you understand? Accepted for value. Set off sermon and closure. You're turning that, you accepted for value is your payment for education purposes. What is my payment coming in? It's coming in the form of my pen. My tender is in the form of my pen. What happens then? The transferee gains a security interest in the instrument and becomes the holder in due course. The liability stays with the issuer. They're liable, not you, Terrence. So instead of being transferred to you, it stays with the issuer. In that position, you can enforce the instrument on the issuer. Do you understand? He becomes the transferee. You should tell the dog, prove it. Well, damn it, I can't. It's right there, UCC 1-201. It's right there. I know you don't believe me. I can't make this up. I shouldn't have to do this. Shouldn't have to do this. Shh. Check this out right here, King. UCC 1-201. UCC 1-201. What? Value. Let's go and look at value. It's on 44. They don't have it listed right here. There should be a 44 part 2 general definitions value right here. Subsection 1-204. Okay. Value. Except as otherwise provided with respect to negotiable instruments and bank collections, section 3-303, 4-210, 4-211. A person gives value. A person gives value. That means 1 foot gives value. 1 foot gives the value. I can't make this up, man. A person gives value for rights if he queries them in return for a binding commitment to extend credit or for the extension of immediate available credit, whether or not drawn upon, whether or not a chargeback is provided for the event of difficulties in collections, or as a security for in total or partial satisfaction of a pre-existing claim, or by accepting a delivery pursuant to a pre-existing contract for purchase, or D, by generally in return for a consideration sufficient to support a simple contract. Do you understand? You're giving it value, Terrence. You're giving it value. It also says important parts in UCC 1-201. It says that a person gives value to get rights. A person gives value to get rights. If one person is given value, the other person is asked to give rights in exchange. Do you understand? Okay, so you're giving it the value, Terrence. It's really that simple. You're giving it the value. People are not getting this. This stuff is very simple, man. If you take the time, you just need someone to actually properly interpret it for you. You guys are worried about things. You're giving these entities powers that they really don't have. You're giving them the power. You understand what I'm talking about? So UCC 1-201 says that a person gives value to get rights. So if one person is given value, the other person is asked to give rights in exchange. You give up your damn rights. An implied contract or promise can't really be enforced. You understand what I'm talking about? Hear me, Sean? An instrument that's demanding performance on is generally an offer. It's just an offer. For years, I've been telling people, hey, you just got to look at everything as an offer. Because it is. Everything's an offer. It's an offer. You're giving these offers value. It's just an offer. I don't give a damn about the wording of it. In law, shall is interpreted as may. Oh, well, you shall spend 2 years in jail. Well, you may. But you also may not. Shall is interpreted as may. Doesn't mean you must. So an implied contract, the promise can't really be enforced. It's implied. That citation is implied, Terrence. An instrument that's demanded performance on it's generally an offer to create a contract. When someone is demanding you to do something, man, that's an offer to create a contract. You guys don't get this yet? I mean, how long has the authorized agent of Tazadak been doing this and you still don't get it? It's an offer. If you accept that just by signing it, you're accepting this new contract. You have the liability now. So you got to pay. This is why they tell you, oh, don't put nothing but your signature. That's known as coercion, guys. Let's get it together. See, when the issuer issues an instrument for value, Constable pulled 1 foot over. He issues 1 foot an instrument for value. What he's doing, he's risking the liability on it. If 1 foot calls his bluff, he couldn't be made to pay you. If the issuer of the instrument for value does not counter your counter offer, you're in a great position. It's really that simple, folks. Well, Henry Sean, I don't know who the hell you are. If you contact me and you were saying nothing of relevance, then yeah. You said you contact me and no response. Maybe what you sent me did not deem a response. I don't typically ignore people if they're saying something relevant. But if you're a criminal, I don't help criminals. If people that's done something to someone, if you committed robbery, and I don't assist people like that because you deserve to be where you are. You need to pay for that. You got to eat that. If you've done something like robbery and you sold some sort of chemical substance to our people, and you put our women on drugs because you're destroying families and you're a damn demon and you need to pay for what you've done. You got to eat that. Don't come to me for any kind of remedy for anything like that, man, because I do not embrace that nonsense. Now, let me get back to my subject, a matter at hand. Would you coming on here trying to call me out? Would you going to make me address your issues? It's funny, you know who I am. I don't know who the hell you are. This is why people don't like me, man. You just can't. You show respect when you come to me, man. Show some decorum. Shalom, Minister Evans. So commerce, right? Commerce is set up to be unfair. This is what I need to tell you people, man. It's not designed to be fair. You understand what I'm talking about, Heidi? I haven't seen you in a minute either, Heidi. Commerce is set up to be unfair. It is based on law merchant. It is based on maritime admiralty law. We're talking about laws of the sea, man. It is not in favor of the creditor. Is it? Yes, it is. It is in favor of the creditor. It is not in favor of the debtor. This is where you should be, a creditor, because commerce is always in favor of the creditor, not a debtor. It's always in favor of a creditor seeking collections. So in most situations, the only thing that must be determined is who is the creditor and who is the damn debtor. How many times have I been telling you, Daniel Harper, to become an SPC, become a creditor? You are making debtor moves. I'm making creditor moves, man. That's all that needs to be determined. Who's the creditor? Who's the debtor? No matter if you're so-called black, so-called white, so-called Asian. They don't care nothing about that, man. Are you a creditor or are you a debtor? And so once that is established, Once you sign the ticket, 1 foot, with a naked acceptance, you just signing your damn Nyman with a naked acceptance. Then you deserve what's coming to you. All other facts generally becomes irrelevant once you sign it with a naked acceptance. Acceptance for value establishes you as a creditor. Why? Because you're taking away the argument. You understand what I'm talking about? I took you to UCC 1-201. Look at subsection A. There's examples of where I'm not making this up, man. I'm getting it right from the UCC codes, man. There's examples right there in a value and exchange of rights. Excluding 303 and 4-210 and 4-211. A person gives value for rights if he acquires them in return for a binding commitment to extend credit or for the extension of immediately available credit, whether or not drawn upon, whether or not a chargeback is provided for in event of difficulties in collections. What is a person? What is it talking about? What are we talking about here, Heidi? What are we talking about here? Tourist Bay, 19 Love, brother. What are we talking about right here, brother? What is a person here? It's talking about the borrower. A borrower gives value. That means you give your rights. You give rights to foreclose. A borrower gives value. A borrower gives right to foreclose assets on a bank's book for rights, meaning use of public credit if he gets those rights in return for a commitment to extend credit, which is essentially a promissory note. So you're the borrower and the lender. You don't get this. A person, aka is the lender, aka a creditor, gives value. What is the value? That's use of public credit for rights. What are the rights that they get? They get the right to foreclose if he gets those rights in return for a commitment to extend public credit to a borrower. That's you, the debtor. Thumbs up as you come in. Let me see how many thumbs up we got in here, man. You know what I'll do, man. I'll take it away. All right, thumbs up is looking okay, man. Let's keep these thumbs up, man. So, a person, the borrower gives value. That's the private man's credit via your signature on a note. A person, that's you, the borrower, you give value. That's you, the private man on the private side, via your signature on a note for rights. That's for the use of the currency. If he gets those rights in return for a commitment to extend credit, his private credit to the lender. A person. It tells us what we mean. We're using that word person. Well, there's more than one type of person. Hey, Sade, how come you didn't get on that call last night, Sade? We don't see you at any of the webinars, Sade. You need to be learning this. Get your mind right, Sade. So a person, a lender, aka the debtor, gives value, liability on its books for rights. You understand what I'm talking about? Use of a man's private credit if he get those rights in return for his commitment to extend public credit to the debtor. They getting your rights, man. This is from private to public. They taking you out of the private and putting you into the public. That's when you get in trouble. So as long as you stay in the private, you're gonna be all right, Sade. So as long as you stay in the private, you're gonna be all right. Tourist Bay, original man. But you guys keep going into the public. We all here to learn, Sade. I don't think any problems or anything would be caused here, as long as you stay in decency and in order. A person, a borrower gives value. That's a private man's credit for a signature on a note, right? For rights, use of currency. If he gets those rights in return for a commitment, man. How many times must I tell you, man? So if you don't comprehend this, I want you to consider this, Bob. Daniel, what's going on? Can you comprehend this, King? If you don't comprehend this, consider how money is created. Watch this. Watch this. All money is, well, not money. It is credit. All money is not money, but it's credit, which basically means all money is debt. Debt and credit is one of the things. Same. When you say, what are you talking about, Tazadak? Tazadak's not here right now. You listen to his authorized agent. I'm the paramount security interest holder. You understand what I'm talking about? You understand what I'm talking about? Sade, I'm the paramount security interest holder. You understand what I'm talking about, Heidi? You understand what I'm talking about, original man? I'm the paramount security interest holder, right? I am the paramount security interest holder for all property and collateral, both registered and unregistered, belonging to the defendant, Tazadak Shah. And I conditionally accept your offer to have any hearing upon proof of claim that this matter has not already been settled, and closed. You get a ticket. How do you respond? How do you respond? It's just an offer. What are you going to do? Give it value? Or are you going to just go put your naked signature on it? You get a ticket. How do you respond? How are you going to respond? Someone issue you a ticket 1 foot. What do? You want to argue? You want to prove them wrong? You're giving it value when you do that. How do you respond to the ticket? First thing I would do, I would go down to the issuing agency and settle and close the matter. I would take with me 2 witnesses in accordance with Matthew 18 and 15. They're more than likely 99.9% of the times they're going to say, we can't settle this right now. I get 2 statements from my witnesses later. The thing goes into a colorable venue. I show up at the colorable venue with my 2 witnesses statement, possibly the 2 witnesses with me in the form of an affidavit. I'm in honor. They went in dishonor. They're going to have to justify their dishonor. So I show up in their public venue. It's Tazadak in the court. Well, Mr. Tazadak, please come forward. The authorized agent of Tazadak stands up. I'm the paramount security interest holder for all property and collateral, both registered and unregistered, belonging to the defendant, Tazadak. And I conditionally accept your offer to have any hearing upon proof of claim that this matter has not already been settled, and closed. How was it already settled, and closed, Terrence? I went down with my 2 witnesses. I stayed in honor. I wanted to settle it then. They didn't settle it then. I settled, and closed it in the form of an accepted for value. What was my tender? My tender was my pen. So it's already been settled, and closed. I give a conditional acceptance. Let the record show that no one here in this courtroom today has provided any evidence, record, or testimony to the contrary. Therefore, this court does not have subject matter jurisdiction. Therefore, my business here is concluded. I demand to be escorted from the premises to be set at liberty. Did I say I demand to be released? No, I don't want a leash put on me. You people, you sign yourselves right back into the system when you think they're setting you at liberty. They say, here, Mr. Original Man, we need you to sign this release form. Re means to go back. Lease means to put a damn lease on you, to put shackles on you, to put chains on you. So when you sign a release, you allow them to put a lease back on you. Do you understand? You understand what I'm talking about? I'm Sade. What about it? I'm Dan Roy. You understand what I'm talking about? You're being released. You're signing yourself back into the system. You think they're letting you go. No, I don't want to be released. I conditionally accept your offer that by signing this, I'm to be set at liberty. Reserving my rights. All rights reserved. UCC 1-2308. Salaki. You understand what I'm talking about? It's words, man. Too many people suffer from aphasia. You guys think I be just saying this, man. I'm not just saying this, man. You think you comprehend this language, but you don't, man. This is why you need to be on these webinars. You can't do this by yourself, man. This is divinely inspired by the Most High, man. I'm not of this world, man. I'm not of this world, man. You understand what I'm talking about? You people think I'm just saying this. I'm just trying to entertain you, man. I ain't no damn entertainer. You understand? That's just my disclaimer. I ain't no damn entertainer, man. I'm here to liberate your damn thinking, to deprogram you and enlighten you. And so many agents of Satan come over here and they cast around a lot of hate. You know why? Because I tell the truth. Understand what I'm talking about? Just tells the dog, who in the hell you think you are? You think you Hamashiach? No. But I'm one, walking in the spirit of the Ruach HaKodesh. Did not the book of Yakanan 14 and 12 through 14 say, truly, truly, I tell you, whoever believes in me will do the works I have been doing. So I have the power of Hamashiach. I didn't write this. I'm just quoting what the book says. And they will do even greater things than these, because I'm going to the Abba, the Father. And I will do whatever you ask in my Father's name. And I will do whatsoever you ask in my name, Salakia, so that the Father may be glorified in the bond, in the Son. You may ask me for anything in my name, and I'll do it. Why haven't you asked them to be a creditor? Why are you still a debtor? I don't know, man. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. So getting back to this, Terrence, you still have 1 foot. You need to listen to this, man. You understand what I'm talking about? If you don't comprehend this, consider how money is created. Well, all money is not money. It's credit, which is basically all money is debt, right? Money is created off of a man's promise to pay the money back. That's the only thing they have. The banksters that you call the Illuminati, they took all the damn gold. The U.S. corporation don't have any damn money. Everything's based off of your credit. The money isn't created. The money isn't created out of nowhere. It needs someone to create the credit off of it. You understand what I'm talking about? So let me rephrase it. It needs someone to create the credit off of. It needs the energy of a man, a womb man, to sign before it creates the money. The ticket that 1 foot signed, the thing didn't have any monetary value attached until 1 foot signed it. Therefore, the signature has value. It's your signature. It's the power of your pen. And they keep deceiving you, man. Why they want you to sign anything? Anything that you don't have your signature on it is not valid. Why they always asking for a signature? Think about it, man. Come on, people. Think. This Captain Obvious, why don't you get the hell up out of here? He said, has this ever worked? Work for me? Work for others? Your faith is a problem. This is not for you. You're not obliged to listen, Captain Obvious. Some things are just not obvious. Okay, you didn't sign. All right, roger that. So you should already set and close this matter, then, 1 foot. So the credit, folks, is what I'm saying. This is true value because the bank can't lend. It cannot lend its own credit. Check out the banking laws. So I can. So this is the deal, folks. Pretty much you're giving everything the value. This guy, Captain Obvious, why don't you listen? You want to wonder or not whether this works. You listen, and I dare you to go and research this for your damn self. If you want to know if this works, go and look at some of the testimonies from my previous videos. That's what you do. Don't come around here and be a distraction. You come over here, this is a learning platform. If you don't want to learn, then you keep it moving. We don't need no distractions over here. There's already enough distractions in the world. Let's get back to the order of business here, man. So, whatever they do, it needs energy from a man or a womb man to sign before it creates the money. Therefore, the signature has value. Why is this true? Because the bank can't loan its own credit. You do know that, don't you, Captain Obvious? Is that not obvious? That's why they call it an extension. It is extending another person's credit to a third party. It isn't a loan. It is an extension of previous process. It's not a loan. The credit comes from the man, the private man, to the bank, which is on the public side. And back to the U.S. citizen, the man represents the borrower. Now that just puts you in the damn public. So you just went from the private to the public. The man can't enter the public because he is a physical being. So what do they have? They have a liaison. They have a liaison. You understand what I'm talking about? What is the liaison? That's the transmitting utility. They need something to be able to transmit through. You understand what I'm talking about, Anthony Squared? They need something to be able to transmit to. That's the straw man. That's the debtor. That's the corporation. You understand what I'm talking about? The man can't enter the public because he is a physical being. He needs a U.S. citizen to represent him there. That is your store man. That is your liaison. The U.S. citizen needs him to sign the instrument, so the man must represent the citizen and supply his physical energy, which is the signing. The man will actually be presumed to be the accommodation party, a surety. The book of Proverbs warns us about suretyship. You keep saying you make yourself an accommodation party, then you become a surety. That means you assume all responsibility. You keep setting up suretyship. The Most High warns us about all of this stuff, but we don't listen because we don't really comprehend scriptures the way that we think we are, the way that we think we do. Book of Proverbs 11:15 says, "He that is surety for a stranger shall smart for it." Well, that's in the old King's English. What does that mean? He that is surety for a stranger shall suffer for it. And he that hateth suretyship, and he that hates being responsible for someone else, is sure, meaning is safe. Do you understand? Do you understand? Stop making yourself a surety for the debtor. Stop making yourself the accommodation party. The man will be presumed to be an accommodation party and not receive any rights unless he negotiates the term to be advantageous to him. 1 foot. If he lets his signature be used without making new terms, he won't get any rights in return for the value that he just gave, which was the extension of credit. Instruments issued for value, demands that have no written contract to back them up, are nothing but requests for a man's credit. That's all that is. That's all they're giving you is a request for your credit. You know what, Henry, Sean, why don't you get off of this platform? You're distraction. I don't have time for distractions. I'm gonna put you in timeout for a minute. You're a distraction. You're getting your damn emotions. You see how things, and you fake Israelites, you get me sick to my damn stomach. See, people keep distracting me, and you know I'm gonna cut you, man. You come over here, you humble yourself, you listen. That this is a platform for learning. It's not a damn debate forum. You understand what I'm talking about? I don't get involved with your polemics. I'm gonna cut you and be like, yo, shalom, have a nice day. If you don't come over here to learn, other folks here, they trying to learn something, man. They want to change their lives. You damn debtors, you keep coming on here. You Israelite debtors, man. Humble yourself, man. Check yourself, king. I don't have no time for debtors or doubters, man. So back to this, Terrence. So when they, what's going on, my good brother, Zabulon? Shalom, king. This is what I'm saying to you on one foot. If you let your signature be used without making new terms, you don't get any rights in return for the value that you gave for your extension of credit. Instruments issued for value demands, they're nothing but demands that don't have any written contract to back them up. They're nothing but a request for your credit. They're credit applications. You understand what I'm talking about? They're credit applications. They need you for money. They need you. You don't need them. If he signs it correctly, he becomes a creditor. How do you learn to sign it correctly? Attend these webinars, man. Does this stuff really work? Why don't you attend and check it out, Captain Cool? Now, when we look at this, when dealing with the public person, right? Your straw man. Well, a person, in this case, the United States, gives value. A birth certificate, securities. That's what a birth certificate is. A certificated security, U.S. citizenship, for right to use the U.S. citizenship as a surety in return for his commitment to extend public credit and benefits to the U.S. citizen. A person, a U.S. citizen, gives value, which is a pledge to the U.S. for right to operate in commerce, to operate in the United States. If he gets those rights in returns for his commitment to extend public credit to be a surety to the U.S. public to public. In other words, if you want a damn EBT card, if you want a damn stimulus check, you're giving up your rights to get value for that check. A person in the United States give value, birth certificate. Certificated security. A birth certificate is a certificated security. That equals the U.S. citizenship. You understand what I'm talking about? You give that for rights. What do they get from you? They get used private credit. If he gets those rights in returns for his commitment to extend public credit, which is distribution from trust to the man to the U.S. citizen. A person, right? A U.S. citizen gives value, that's a man's private credit, to the U.S. for rights to operate in commerce in the U.S. corporation. If he gets those rights in return for his commitment to extend private credit of the man who represents the U.S. citizen to the U.S. You understand what I'm talking about? I suggest that you attend the webinar this up and coming weekend. Let me post the link in May the 1st and May the 2nd from 12 noon to 6 p.m. both days. And we usually go over that time. You understand? The spirit starts moving on me. I go over that time, man. I like to make sure that people are being facilitated with right knowledge. So attend the webinar this weekend from 12 noon to 6 p.m. May the 1st and May the 2nd, both days, right? Accepted for value, 3-step process. How Taza Doc's authorized agent do the accepted for value, what to do if they don't respond at all, because you go into sissy mode, and what to do if they respond negatively. See, when you accept for value, you are using a position as a beneficiary of a trust created by the Constitution, and one that was actually created in 1933 under President Roosevelt, FDR. See, the reason you have this right is because of the constitutional oath the president takes in Article 2. Judges have the 5 USC 331 oath of office. The president takes a different oath under Article 2. This is why a lot of you, when you go to damn court and you asking for a damn judge's oath, you don't know what the hell you asking for. You gotta ask for the damn oath under 5 USC 331. You understand what I'm talking about? That's the oath of office that a robe takes. That's not the oath that the president takes. You understand what I'm talking about? These are two different oaths. No, you don't understand what I'm talking about, man. I'm talking about 5 US Code 331. You understand what I'm talking about? No, you don't. Let me help you out real quick, man. I can't make this stuff up, man. Even seeing it on the screen, you may not even believe it, man. Because you say, what was this Negro talking about, man? Who is he? Who is Tazadak Shah? I'm just somebody that knows somebody that's greater than all of this. 5 USC 3331, oath of office. An individual except, see, the presidential oath is not the same as their oaths. An individual except president elected or appointed to an office of honor or profit in the civil service or uniformed service shall take the following oath. I, A.B., black robe, briefcase, do solemnly swear or affirm that I support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservations or purpose of evasions, and that I will and faithfully discharge the duties of the office on which I am about to enter. So help me, Yahweh. This section does not affect other oaths required by law. You understand what I'm talking about? It does not null and void other oaths. So why in the hell are you going into court like a damn dodo asking him, do you have an oath of office? I just told you what a damn oath is, man. Why you going in? You concerned about their oaths? It's just that you really don't know what you're doing because you're listening to these other damn YouTubers that they know a little bit, but they ain't better than me. I keep telling you that, man. I don't just tell you the law, man. I show you where the hell to find it. And you don't even write it down. You should be writing this down. So you're looking for the wrong oath. Why the hell are you looking for a presidential oath? The oath that you're supposed to be looking for is under 5 USC 331. And some of you dodos, oh, yeah, I couldn't find this oath. I looked for his oath. His oath is right there, man, in 5 USC 3331. It's right there. You don't have to look for it. They all take this. Anyone that takes office has this oath, except for the president. You follow me? So an oath of office is different than an oath. You understand? One's an oath, one's an oath of office. Listen, hear me, Sean. I'm gonna go ahead and block you. You're like a woman, man. Real talk. But I put you in a timeout. Then you come back in here with the same nonsense. You're really emotional, man. Here I am trying to give a lesson. You coming on my platform and you acting like a little bitch. Do you really think I have time for this? This dude out of here, man. You don't calm down. I'm gonna block you, man. You're too emotional, man. That's what I'm talking about, man. You got time for daddies like this, man. If I offended you, I meant to. It wasn't an accident. Understand that. So the oath that you all are looking for out there, you don't need to look for it, man. It's right there in 5 USC. What the hell? Why are you looking for an oath? An oath of office is different from an oath. See this right here? Hold on, man. This right here? This kind of feminine energy, I don't have time to deal with this. Listen, man, if you contact me and I read your email, and if I didn't contact you, I did that on purpose. Now, what else do you want to have? Maybe you put something there, I didn't respond. Am I obliged to respond to you? These are private meetings. I determine who I want to respond to. My allegiance is to my creator, not to Henry Sean. Understand that. What's wrong with you, man? You're distracting me right now, man. I'm not obliged to respond to people that I don't want to respond to. Is this guy gonna make me respond to him? Get out of debtor mode. That's what you probably had the same energy in your email, and that's probably why I didn't respond. Because right now you're acting like Honey Sean instead of Henry Sean. You understand what I'm talking about? Let me get back to this. Finish this up, man. I got things to do here. So, folks, an oath in office, one for the oath of office is different than an oath. I'll let you get into all of that on your own, but you go and check it out. Go and research it, right? But my point is this. As long as there is an officer with an oath required by the Constitution, that's all you need to know, One Foot. The people will still have a trustee for the trust on which they are beneficiaries. The people have an antecedent claim. What do I mean by antecedent claim? Those of you that was in my webinars, you know what I'm talking about. An antecedent claim means that there's a previous claim already in place. It's called aphasia. The people have an antecedent claim from a pre-existing contract, which is based on constitutional guarantees. The birth certificate is a remedy. It represents the antecedent claim you have against the U.S. corporation and is your evidence of a pre-existing contract. Do you understand? It represents the prepaid account you have available to you for set-offs. Go and check it out for yourself. Don't believe me? Go and check it out for yourself. Acceptance by silence. Acceptance of an offer, not by explicit words, but through the lack of an offeree's response in circumstances in which the relationship between the offerer and the offeree justifies both the offerer's expectations of a reply and the offeree's responsible conclusion that the lack of one signals acceptance. Ordinarily, silence does not give rise to acceptance of an offer, but this exception arises when the offeree has a duty to speak. That's from Black Laws 7. Acquiescence is agreement if you already have an antecedent contract. If you act like a U.S. citizen in your communication, like this guy Henry is doing, there is no obligation for me to respond. He's conducting himself like a U.S. citizen, like a debtor. But if you act like One Foot, one of the beneficiaries on the trust created by the Constitution and Franklin Delano Roosevelt, they do. And their silence is acceptance. Your communication should give them the terms of the agreement to another party. We must have a delegation of authority to represent the United States. The president combined the U.S. and his agents who could do it on his behalf, which are the heads of 3 executive departments. What are those 3 executive departments? Homeland Security, Treasury, and Justice. The Secretary of Treasury is the banker. The Secretary of Treasury is the banker for the U.S. corporation. And you should receive the endorsed instrument where it is treated like a check and deposited to settle an account. So when you accept for value, you become the holder in due course of the instrument. You can enforce the instrument on the issuer. Enforce the damn ticket back on them, One Foot. He has a duty to pay if it is issued for value, but only if this is recognized and endorsed properly. How do you endorse it properly? You attend my webinars and you learn. See, to be a holder in due course, the holder must meet all the elements of UCC 3-302. Holder in due course. UCC 3-302. What does it all mean? Let's look at it. Let's look at it. Let's look at it. I can't make this stuff up, man. I don't make this stuff, man. Show me screen I had. I'm not no ordinary man, man. This is you, these cats coming on here, man. To be in my presence, man, you ought to be honored, man. I'm not no ordinary man. I'm a high value dude, man, and very high value in the eyes of the Most High. I'm not no ordinary dude, man. Stop trying to come on here and act like I'm ordinary. I'm not your boy off the block. This is your house block. I'm not no ordinary dude. Okay, hold in due course. Here it is again. Once again, Tazadah is edifying. Hold in due course. A subject to subsection C of this section and section 3-106 subsection D, hold in due course, means the holder of an instrument. The instrument, when issued, with my head, the instrument, when issued or negotiated to the holder, does not bear such apparent evidence of forgery or alteration, or is not otherwise so irregular or incomplete as to call into question its anticitancy, and the holder took the instrument for value in good faith, without notice that the instrument is overdue or has been dishonored, or that it is an unoccurred default with respect to paying another instrument issue as part of the same series, without notice that the instrument contains an unauthorized signature or has been altered, without notice of any claim to the instrument described in section 3-306, and without notice that any party has a defense or claim recoupment described in this section 3-305 subsection A. You understand? So from UCC 3-303, official commitment, an instrument is not issued for consideration. The issuer has a defense to the obligation to pay the instrument. And take the inverse of that. If we take the inverse of that, if an instrument is issued for consideration, the issuer has no defense to the obligation to pay the instrument. Do you understand? So what should 1 foot be doing for educational purposes? Refusal for cause. Refusal for cause, 1 foot. Dave, you could actually get that on the website. You go to www.truedisciplesofchrist.org/shop. They're actually on the website. So this is what I'm saying, 1 foot. Refusal for cause might be your action. You understand? See, in general, it's better to accept for value every instrument that you get for educational purposes rather than refusing for cause any of them, except for value. Why? Because of multiple reasons. A lot of people out there telling you, hey, refusal for cause. That might be the best for you, 1 foot, but I doubt it. When you refuse for cause, you're refusing to take the instrument because of defects in the instrument. This actually requires a larger knowledge base of statutes, codes, and so on and so forth. Not something most people really want to learn. They don't even want to learn what I'm teaching them here in the most simplistic form, especially not when you are a free man. It also requires that the transferee addresses specific defects. And this will require you to be able to think on your feet in court. And so 1 foot, there's a lot of trouble in refusal for cause when you could just accept it for value. When you accept it for value, you are adding your country, or should I say you're aiding to your country by accepting all of their offers rather than refusing. You are aiding them in a time of emergency, in a time of bankruptcy, and reducing the national debt. Refuse, accept it for value. Con, praise y'all. Yeah, they do. So without recourse, This is another defense some people like to use. So without recourse, adding without recourse to your signature is another qualified endorsement. When I sign, if you guys attend my webinar, the authorized agent of Tazadak teaches you to put without recourse. That's a qualified endorsement right there. It takes the signatory of it takes the signatory Tazadak's authorized agent out of the equation. He's the signatory. It removes all liability the endorser might have on the instrument. You are no longer the accommodation party or responsible party when you use this endorsement. So in general, when using accepted for value, it is better not to use this. You don't sign your accepted for value without recourse, so you could be seen as an aid to the U.S. You're agreeing to remain responsible in the agreement, and you are seen as an ally instead of a foe. You understand what I'm talking about? But what about suretyship? Appreciate you, Fred Green. What about suretyship? See, U.S. citizen debtors are all presumed to have agreed to be a surety for repayment of the national debt. I keep telling people this, folks don't get this, right? Being a surety is better than being an accommodation party. He tells out what the hell are you talking about? You just said don't be surety. Watch this. Watch this. Being a surety is better than being an accommodation party, which gives its name and credit, but gets nothing in return. A surety receives an asset for agreeing to be a surety. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Let me give you an example. Case in point, right? An officer may need 2 sureties before he can commence his official duties. He will find 2 people who agreed to be his sureties. They will sign a document, maybe a bond, right, as sureties for the officer. The officer give the sureties an asset, like a deed of trust, as a security. See, for them, in the event that they would require some time to pay a debt for the officer. So if the officer were a tax collector and he died, all of his accounts would have to be settled. Now, if there was no money in his accounts to pay the other taxes he had collected, his personal property would be used to settle the debt. This happens to many of you all of the time. Someone dies, where do you end up in? What kind of court do you go into? They say, oh, well, your mother owed this on her home. She had actually taken out a home. You got to pay this, or we're going to seize the property. You end up in probate court. Hey, Shalom, your car. You end up in probate court. Why? Because there was no suretyship. You didn't leave anyone else responsible. See, if there were no money in his account to pay, you're going to end up in probate court. His personal property is going to be taken. That home is going to be used. They're going to put a lien on it, or they're going to levy it and sell it to pay off of these tax. So the U.S. and its creditors do not want to spend time and money to liquidate the dead officer's personal property. So what do? They just go to the sureties to collect. The sureties are required to pay immediately. Then the sureties, as holders in due course of the deed of trust, have the right to enforce the deed. See what I'm saying? They could sell the real property, the house, connected to the deed of trust. So they could be reimbursed. The debtor's officer's shares cannot claim a right to the property because the deed of trust the sureties hold is an enforceable instrument. So sureties for the United States have the same option. Since the sureties are fictions, the people who represent these sureties can opt to use their prepaid account to pay when they receive instruments that are issued and transferred for value. They do not have to pay with public deeds, accounts, or cash, a person's they represent. If they do, they pay with public currency. They have the right to be reimbursed if they pay with that. If they opt to use their prepaid account, they use the Secretary of Treasury to settle, and close the debt. Either way, the surety stays in honor and performs according to its promise. Do you understand? So there is a trust created by the Constitution and one created by President Roosevelt FDR in 1933 when the gold and silver was removed. The people are the beneficiaries of these trusts if they correctly, only if they correctly accept the birth certificates, accept the values establishing your position as the holder in due course, as the transferor, the enforcer of the instrument, and the beneficiary of those trusts. Except if a value is a qualified endorsement you gain as a security interest in the instruments. Instruments that are not backed by an intentional written promise to pay or perform must be issued for value. Real talk. You understand what I'm talking about, Tourist Bay? So the issuer of an instrument holds the liability on the instrument. Someone writes you a ticket, he holds the liability. The only way he gets over is because you keep giving him a naked signature. Instruments issued for value have no value until they are endorsed by you with a naked signature. An instrument is issued or transfer for value is for a promise of a performance. You understand? Write you a citation. It's a promise for a performance. You got to perform. What are you going to do? The correct way or the wrong way? An instrument issue or transfer for value is a promise of a performance to the extent the promise has been performed. An instrument issue for value to acquire a security interest or lien in the instrument other than a lien obtained by the judicial proceedings. An instrument issue for value as payment or as a security for the antecedent claim against any person, whether or not the claim is due. Do you understand? Sit off, settle, and close it. Why go into a controversy? I accept it for value. Sit off, settlement, and closure. So, there you have it, folks. You're welcome to come out to the webinar. I just don't need any negative energy, man. Like this guy Henry said, he emailed me. I don't even, you know how many emails I gotta check. And then I come on here and I do things like this, and I'm up until like 3 a.m. How long was we on last night? Yeah, Bay, 3 a.m. Then I'm back up at 5, man. I'm functioning off of no sleep, and you come on ahead with negative energy, giving me a list of demands. You still got to accept it for value. I'll open up a few minutes for a couple questions here. See if a few people have questions. If you have questions, come on in the room, man. Ask your questions, man. You don't have to be shy. I give you 5 minutes. It's 10:49. I give you 5 minutes to entertain some questions. Be short, be brief. All these people that seem to have questions. Dave Blackman, you have any questions? Yeshaya, have questions? Sade, you have questions? Come on up in here. Stop being afraid, people. The way that you run this is by asking intelligent questions. Not by causing arguments, and you come on here arguing, giving me a list of demands. Links in the room, and even got any questions, come on up in here. 2 minutes. No questions? I'll go ahead and shut it down, man. Someone had a question there. Who was that? Oh yeah, someone asked me about hey from the UK. Sister, you probably should attend. Not probably, you definitely should attend the webinars. There's a lot of people that actually be attending from the UK. So it'll be a good idea if you actually. I'll post a link here once again to attend the webinar. We'll be having a lot of people in from the UK. A lot of good people from the UK. Lucina, see you at the webinar this weekend. So any questions? Sade, looks like you're filled with questions. The one brother was asking the questions about authentication of the birth certificate. Is that accepting it? It's not. Authenticating the birth certificate is different. So since there's no question, I'm going to go ahead and bring this to a close. Thank everyone for tuning in. I'm going to say shalom to everyone. I like the video, share the video, and click the link under this video to tune into the webinar May the 1st and May the 2nd from 12 noon to 6 p.m. both days, Eastern Standard Time. For now, Daniel, you got a question. You was at the webinar, Daniel. You can click on the room. I don't know why people want to ask this in the chat section, man. It's better to click in the room and asking you questions. Right now, I'm going to